Hello everyone. I'm this whole weekend and for Memorial Day I'm back at my godfather Jeff's cottage again, but it's only for a little bit longer and all. I just wanted to make a continuation of my rant on Big World Big Adventures, and this is the only thing I have to portray myself as, so I'm just gonna have myself an angry Chica plushie as my portrayal. Um there's some other things I wanted to discuss that I hate about Big World Big Adventures, and that includes Thomas being the narrator. First of all, I've loved the old narrators like George Carlin, Alec Baldwin, and many of the recent ones, and they all work greatly for the series. And they've made lots of iconic, catchphrases and moments and just memorable lines in general. And now that's all been undermined with Thomas being the narrator. Great. Now we're just like tons of other children's shows, most of which are cancelled now. This is like going into Dora the Explorer territory or Super Y. I know of a lot of parents and even kids and people my age who never liked that kind of thing. And especially me. I never liked being talked down to, kind of. The only times it works and all is like with something like Barney or Sesame Street, where like everyone is kind of like that. When there's like, I don't know, it just seems kind of, aside from the few shows I listed and all, the ones that are like, doing it good, it rarely works. And in Thomas, it's very, very jarring. Like, hi kids, this is the message I learned today. Let's go see something I wasn't even around to see at the time. Plus, for those Thomas fans who used to complain that Thomas appeared in every single episode, even though I didn't mind it back then and all, now it's more jarring than ever. Way more than it was in something like season 19 or 20. Way more obnoxious. Even though it wasn't really obnoxious in that era. Also, the character Ace, he's terrible. He's an awful character. His movements look straight out of Cars. And, like I said about him nearly hitting the Reverend W. Audrey representation in the show, that just shows how much they care about the show now. Nearly hitting the Reverend himself. Wow. Talk about insulting Mattel, wow. And also the music, by the way. Remember how nice and classic some of the songs used to be? Whether it be the Troublesome Truck song, and my classic personal favorite, Accidents Will Happen, Jobs Aplenty, Busy, and plenty more and all. You don't see any of those kinds of songs anymore. Heck, even the ones that are, even though I loved the old Artie Island song, that all these classic songs that came from like the model series era, and even some of the CGI era songs and all are really good as well. I adore the very useful engine, the song for Thomas that was remastered in The Adventure Begins. We're never gonna get such beautiful music like that anymore in a series, because a lot of it either doesn't exist, or they don't care about creating new scores for the characters, or nice background music, or some of the songs are very mediocre. Heck, one of the songs they just say, "We're friends," like 5 times in a row. Seriously? Nice lyrics. Also, Nia, her model is narrow gauge. She should only be a narrow gauge engine. So, already that kind of ruins her character. Also, the numbering system, there's always been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then Emily, it doesn't have a number. You'd think she's 8th, but no, Duck has that. At the time it was fine, but then when you throw in Nia and Rebecca, I can't remember if they have numbers. I know Nia does, but I don't care what it is. What is it, 37 or something? Who cares? Plus it just ruins 2 and 3, and talk about, if Mattel, if you want to make a marketable and memorable thing and all with your numbering system, doing something like that and all, replacing the characters like that is just gonna mess it up. Now what else? Oh yeah, the animals thing. It was a while ago that I saw a video called Big World Big Disaster and all, from a guy recording his face and all. It's really good, go check it out, and all about Paw Patrol and why it badly inspired Thomas, and what Mattel is trying to replicate the popularity of it. Mattel is trying to put more and more animals in the show, and you can see with like how many episodes involve like some animal specialist talking to Thomas. Also, how the show is trying to be more eco-friendly. To both of these things I say, no, I'm exposing myself. Oops. Yeah. Anyways, shame. First of all, this is a show about trains, steam locomotive, And diesel trains. Oh wait, Nurse Stafford too. Yeah, he's electric. But hey, he's not solar powered, like solar panel kind of thing. Because honestly, the show doesn't care about dating anymore. Because back then and all, remember how like it was steam engines and then they're all getting replaced by diesels? Well, and how like on the mainland in the show, it was diesels everywhere and all, but on Sodor, it's steam engines who roam free with some diesel friends. That's nice. But now the show trying to be more modern and all, it doesn't make any sense, and that ruins its own continuity. And then, everywhere you go in the world, you see almost nothing but steam engines everywhere and very few diesels. There goes that whole subplot that's been built up for years ago, ever since the Railway series. That's pretty eco-friendly stuff. Thomas is not the show to teach this. I know a few people have already said this in their great videos, but still, it really does not work. And as for the animals, I just got done watching an old Unlucky Tugs series 14 thing and all, and the very first episode was Thomas's tall friend. People come to the show for trains. They don't come here for animals. And yes, there are a few episodes out there that have animals that are decent, but they're not the main focus or whatever, and it's not incredibly obnoxious. Episodes like Luke's New Friend, or Not Now Charlie, and some other classics like Henry and the Elephant, they get it right. All these ones and all are with the monkey stuff, kind of, with him like pushing, or Thomas stopping animal burglars, kind of. Oh, great. Thomas has descended to this level. And then the sound effects, kind of, and oh, it's just cringeworthy. And may I forget to mention the intro and all. The intro music is not that nice. I've already talked about the cranky thing and all, but then adding like tracks to like the Great Wall of China and other places and all is ridiculous looking. And the imagery of all the engines surrounding the whole planet with like steam or whatever of any colors, that was just weird. And finally, you have Thomas going up Gordon's Hill and then flying off. I know this is meant to be the intro and supposed to hype you up and all, because attention spans are very little nowadays with the show's current audience, I guess, even though I have a lot of patience. Got everything moving around, kind of. Got to keep it all flashing and bouncing and everything. And you know what I say? Remember the episode, Hugo in the airship? Yeah, this intro completely defies that logic. Probably the fastest engine in the entire series can't even get an inch, not even a centimeter, off of Gordon's Hill. Can't even get a little bit into the sky. And the character accepts this. And now Thomas goes flying off with no physics reality whatsoever, and just flies however he wants, not damaging himself at all. Heck, even the flipping bridge jump scene was more realistic than this. Seriously? I can't believe I'm actually defending the bridge jump scene. Is that how bad it's gotten? Jeez. What else? I don't think there's much else for me to really talk about now. Tell me if there's any other issues that's in the current show now that you want me to discuss, and I'll talk about them. Anyways, end of this continuation of my rant.